Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zolotech, and this past week we had a lot of different news with the upcoming iPhone 16, iPhone 17, as well as Apple Intelligence and much more. This is your weekly Apple news update for the week of August 11th through the 16th, 2024. Now there's good news when it comes to Apple Intelligence. A week or so ago, we talked about how Apple could actually start charging a monthly fee with a subscription plan to use Apple Intelligence in the future. However, this week, Mark Gurman has actually said that Apple will likely not charge for Apple Intelligence until at least 2027. This would also give them a lot of time to sort of get things right. Half the features aren't working yet in the beta, and also maybe add some features that would be worth paying for in a subscription. Currently, with just Siri, where it looks pretty nice overall, so let's see if we can activate here. You'll see it doesn't even work 100% of the time, and that's because it's a beta, and that's okay. But again, if we press and hold, there we go. Again, like I said, it's buggy, and there's a lot of things they have to work on to get this right, with different summarization within Safari, Mail, and other features as well. Maybe eventually there'll be something worth paying for. A new trader agreement in the EU is set to go into effect in October and will require developers in the EU to provide an address, phone number, and email address, which will actually be displayed on the App Store page. You'll see this is actually the upcoming requirements for app distribution in the European Union. It gives different updates here where trader status will be required to submit app updates. So this is something they have to do to comply with EU laws, and so you'll actually have contact information there as well as an address. As the EU now has the option to use alternate app stores, or side loading as many are calling it, we don't have it throughout the US or other places, but in the EU you can use that. The Alt Store PAL is now free now that Epic Games has given them a grant. Prior to the grant, the Alt Store PAL was actually charging $1.50 in euros to actually cover Apple's fees, and then there would be additional tax on top of that. To go along with that, the Epic Game Store is now available with Fortnite in the EU as well. So that's actually available as of today. And if you want to download their games, you can do that as of now. Apple has a new short film called Relay, and it features athletes with disabilities and without competing against one another. This is actually ahead of the Paralympic Games that's taking place this week and showcases Apple's products that help them get ready to train for these different events. It's a really great video, and I definitely recommend taking the 4 minutes or so to watch it. I'll link it in the description if you want to check it out. Apple also had a press release this week talking about how J.D. Powers has named the Apple Card as the card with the highest customer satisfaction among cards with no annual fee. It's something that I use regularly and hopefully comes to more countries very soon, as it's very simple to use. Beats Studio Pro actually announced new colors this week. Apple announced them in partnership with Kim Kardashian, where they have 3 new colors called Moon, Dune, and Earth. So if you want those, they're now available and you can order them now. They're about $350 or so without any discounts, so definitely expensive, but if you want those colors, they're now available. Apple has actually changed the way they're working with Spotify to allow them to display pricing information about services it can buy outside the app. Typically, Apple doesn't allow this, but probably due to pressure from the European Union and others, they actually allowed them to show the different pricing information. So you can go in and you'll see on Spotify's website, you can see different things about your account, different information about how you can sign up for premium and more. So that's now available and should be showing up. Apple has also decided to enforce in-app purchase fees and require 30% of revenue earned in the Patreon app. This is actually a really bad move, in my opinion, where they're going to take money away from creators, basically demanding 30% of any money that creators make. So this is something that would come directly from the pockets of creators and not necessarily Patreon. So hopefully they change this, and you'll see the actual post from Patreon themselves talking about how it would affect creators. So Apple's actually enforcing this. Let me know if you've been affected by this or what you think Apple could do maybe to fix this or make it better. Sonos recently made an update to its app that had quite a few users upset due to its lack of features. I've actually used the Sonos app for a while, but some people were using features within it, and then they released a new app and wiped out all of those features. They're now considering bringing back the old app, and I think that's a great idea, as the app definitely should not have been released without prior app features being implemented first. So that's something that hopefully will change very soon. And speaking of apps, the app Halide was just updated this week with an all-new feature that's really something that many people have wanted for a long time. If we switch over to the app here, you'll see that they call it Process Zero, basically no AI and minimal processing for natural film-like shots. So you can actually choose how much they're actually processed, maybe reducing that HDR that many people don't like. And this is definitely something that's pretty great if you've been wanting just basically the raw photo out of the phone without any additional processing from Apple. A new Apple Watch activity challenge starts on August 25th. On the MacRumors website, you can see it has to do with national parks with Apple Watch activity challenge coming on August 25th. And you can see the different badges you can earn here. And basically you have to do a 20-minute workout or so, and then you'll actually get some of these. So it says with all activity challenges, the award will come with animated stickers that can be used in the Messages app. So that actually begins very soon. Now, as far as deals and discounts this week, well, MacBook gets some discounts as far as the Pro. Originally at Best Buy, it was up to $1,000 off, but there's some additional discounts I'll link in the description. M4 iPad Pro is now down $200, sold by Apple on Amazon, and the Apple Studio display is also discounted by about $200. Apple Watch Series 9 has been discounted, as well as AirPods Pro 2, which seem to be on perpetual discount, and much more. I'll link all of those in the description below. Apple actually updated Final Cut Pro for all of their different devices this week. For Mac, it's version 10.8.1. On iPad, you'll see we have the latest version here, where it's version 2.0.1 to fix an issue with live multicam sessions that prevented devices from appearing or connecting. This also carries across to Final Cut Camera with version 1.0.1. So those are all out now, and if you haven't updated, I definitely would do that since it fixes some of those issues and additional issues on the Mac side as well. Now, when it comes to leaks and rumors this week, well, iPhone SE is still in the works, according to Mark Gurman this week in his Power On newsletter. It's still in the works to have 8 gigs of RAM so it can use Apple Intelligence in the upcoming phone. The iPhone SE 4 is also expected to launch probably in 2025, it looks like, so it is a ways off. The next big change to the iPhone looks like it will be with the iPhone 17. The previous big change was with the iPhone 10 and 10s, where they sort of implemented a new design that was completely different than before. It looks like Apple's going to be making what could be called the iPhone Air, which was first suggested by John Prosser and then later sort of confirmed by Mark Gurman. Mark Gurman suggests that Apple will actually try selling this as something that is more premium or flashy than iPhone 17 Pro models, but maybe with the internals of the regular iPhone 17, but in a much thinner package. So we could see maybe a super thin phone that would look really great, but obviously would struggle with things with battery life unless Apple's figured something else out. So this looks like something that we could see in 2026 with next year's big iPhone launch. The iPhone 16 is just a month away or so, and new colors have recently leaked. Sonny Dickson on X actually showed what the colors Apple has chosen could look like on the iPhone 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max devices. It looks like we'll have a white titanium or silver titanium, black titanium, natural titanium, and a new bronze titanium. Some have suggested it would be more of a pink color. We don't really know 100%, but it looks like they're definitely going to make a change and do away with this blue color, unfortunately. This is one of my favorite colors. Not everybody loves it, but let me know if you like the bronze color better. Maybe a new rose gold has been hinted as well. Let me know what you would prefer in the comments below, as Apple has seemed to move away from very vibrant colors like we had with the iPhone 5C. I know many people would love to see vibrant colors come back, and I think that's great on the non-Pro models. Apple seems to think that Pro means not colorful. So let me know what you think of that. Last year's iPhone 15 was really nice. I love the texture, but these sort of super light colors definitely could use an update for those that want a more colorful phone, especially if you don't put a case on it, or maybe just want to use a clear case. As far as Mac updates, well, Apple is working on a larger iMac, it seems, larger than 30-inch display, according to Mark Gurman. Unfortunately, this is something Apple is exploring, and it could be more than a year until we actually see that. I would love to see a new iMac that's larger instead of having maybe a Pro Display XDR and an external Mac. Also last week, it was rumored that Apple would be updating some of its Mac lineup with new M4 processors in a MacBook Air, a redesigned Mac Mini, Mac Studio, and now it seems that MacBook Pro M4 are set to launch by the end of the year. This is because of display panel shipments that are on track for the Q4 timeframe, according to Ross Young, who actually has a very good track record for display shipment accuracy. So we definitely could see some upgrades this year with M4 MacBook Pros, maybe the MacBook Air. but I'd also like to see Mac Pro and other things updated, possibly with new designs. But it looks like the Mac Mini will definitely get that new design. Mark Gurman this week has said that Apple has decided to continue working on a tabletop robotic device that would combine the HomePod with an iPad and could serve as sort of a smart home command center. It could look something like this maybe, with a HomePod attached to an iPad, or maybe they'll make a mini version with an iPhone. But either way, it could be sort of a command center, could use center stage to move around and maybe track you as you're talking to someone on FaceTime, or maybe just have a different home OS altogether. Either way, it looks like they're going forward with it, and maybe we'll see it soon, maybe next year. There wasn't really a big time frame given as far as that goes. Apple continues to also work on a smart ring, it seems, based on recent patents. I've used the Ultra Human one, as well as the Samsung Ring, and I think they definitely have a place for those that don't want to wear a watch. I personally don't like to wear a watch all the time, and just having this on your finger to do basically the measurements of walking, heart rate measurement, maybe some other sensors as well, is really convenient and out of the way. If you've worn any rings or a wedding ring or anything like that for any amount of time, it's just sort of out of the way. You can sleep using this, and it will track sleep as well. Recent patents suggest not only would Apple use it as a health monitoring device, but maybe also allow it to control things such as head-mounted displays or devices. So if maybe you could have some controls, tap on it, or maybe scroll, something like that, it could definitely be something else it could offer as far as just health tracking benefits. So that would be great. I definitely think at this point, after using both of these, that Apple should maybe pursue one of these for those that don't want to wear a watch. Before the end of the year, we also expect updates to AirPods 3, where Apple will replace them with AirPods 4, and maybe a cheaper version as well to replace AirPods 2. We can expect those along with AirPods Max 2 by the end of the year with USB-C. We don't expect any major changes with the AirPod Max though. Apple is also still continuing work on a cheaper version of a Vision Pro. I use this maybe once a week or so, maybe not even at that much at this point. I do think it's a nice device, but I don't think most people want this, especially for the $3,500 to start price tag. Apple is working on a cheaper version, according to Mark Gurman, and he says it's still on track for 2025. Apple is also working on smart glasses, and that's probably when we would see most people adopt a device that you wear on your face. I think Vision Pro is nice, but most people don't want to wear this heavy headset or something that messes up their hair all day long. I definitely think something in the form of glasses would be a much more mainstream product. So lots of news with the upcoming devices. Of course, I'm looking forward to the next versions of iOS 18 betas and much more. Let me know what device you're looking most forward to in the comments below, and if you're planning to pick up an iPhone 16. Of course, I'll link this wallpaper in the description like I normally do, and if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe, and if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.